much to it. It basically just tastes like thick liquid.
I cannot believe this jagoff is on camera drinking oil.
That is...
What a yenzu.
Alas, we do it for the people.
What's up, Forkers? It's Matty Worldwide. Welcome to episode 4, Bite 3. And if you ain't familiar with what it is at this point, Bite 3s are Small Business Friday, Support Friday. I haven't thought of a catchy name Friday, but it's Friday. Not really. If you've been paying attention to this week's videos, everything got pushed back this week because your boy Matty had kind of a rough beginning of the week. Not going to put you in on my problems. Let's just say that as I put into words in Bite 2, best laid plans are soon undone. So here we are. Bite 3, episode 4. I'm talking about how to use an electric stovetop this week. I hope you found Bite 2 to be really helpful. And, you know, to start off this bite, we're just going to recap how we finished the second bite. All right, Matty's 5 tips for success. Remember, number 1, you repair a second coil for a planned heat shift. This comes in real handy when you're making rice or generally anything that you're going to have to kind of like a sauce where you have to change temperatures, or if you're watching cream sauces, or just generally anything at all. Just prepare that second coil. It makes for a nice, easy way to control the heat. Number 2, you know, fat bottom pans make the forking world go round. What this means is basically, even if you're on a budget, you know, scour the internet, look for the thickest bottom pan you got. This will help you avoid hot spots that are common to electric stovetops. Number 3, you got start low and be patient. This is really something to always kind of work into a mantra every time you start cooking with an electric stovetop, especially if you're new to learning how to cook. You know, just start the temperature low, work up, get used to it. Sometimes lower settings can get really hot at the start, but then, you know, you're going to have to adjust as the thing you add to the pan cools it off a little bit and it doesn't recoup the heat as fast. Be patient with yourself with this. Learn your equipment, learn the heat settings. You'll have a much easier time moving forward. Number 4, along those lines, don't be afraid to move the pan. It doesn't matter if you're in the flow. Something burnt is always worse than something cooked, you know, maybe awkwardly. Don't be too confident. Again, especially if you're new, move the pan, take it off the heat, modulate the temperature this way. Last but not least, a real important thing around here at Ordinary Forks is love yourself. You gotta love yourself to love the food you make. Be easy on yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you're not beating yourself up if you can't recreate a recipe on the first go. Some of these things are staged. You can't always trust what you see on the internet. So take your time, be patient with yourself, love yourself, and you're going to make much better food, I promise you. Boom, there's my 5 tips for how to use an electric stovetop. Today we are featuring a beer by Meadville, PA's VooDoo Brewing Company. Been around this brewery for quite some time. I went to university up in Erie, PA, and drank a bucket load of VooDoo Brewing. They got great beers covering IPAs, the Belgian styles, the brown ales. They got cool cans now. They had cool bottles before. Great people. Had the opportunity to hang out with one of them once at the six-pack shop on Pittsburgh Ave in Erie, PA. This I got from a little place over here in New Kent called House of 1,000 Beers. You can check the links in the description below. I'll keep them up and active for you. That's big for me. Support the local businesses, support your local breweries, and support your local restaurants. Because, hell, us small town kids like to have a little variety too. And if somebody's willing to stick their neck out and start something up, then if it's good, now don't support something if it's not so good. But if it's good, help them out, keep them around, especially during these trying times. That is a damn good IPA. Let's talk about some of the things, we recap the 5 tips up at the top. But here we are. We're talking about electric stovetops this week. It's easy to screw some up on there, but if you know a thing or two about it, it's also pretty easy to keep it pretty on the level for an inexpensive piece of equipment most of us have in our kitchens. I don't last too long on these Bite 3s because really it's all about relaxation and pushing some stuff. So I'm going to push a local artist. Finally lucky enough to have someone submit some music to me. So if you heard the closing track, it's a little bit of a bias on my part. That is my brother. He decided to throw together a little ditty on just a quick one. It was cool. I thought it was funny. I was just happy he did it. I'm happy anybody's willing to support it all. So if you have subscribed to, I thank you very much for doing that. It's been a fun distraction for me during a really interesting period of time, and I think I'm going to keep doing it. We've been into it for a month, and it seems to be fun. People seem to be enjoying it. If you do have any suggestions for the channel, or you'd like to ask a question or suggest a topic, please feel free to message me down below, but check me out on all my socials. You can find me on Pinterest and Instagram at @YinzerMatty. I'm on Reddit as Ordinary Forks. I have a Ordinary Forks page on Facebook. And in fact, if you're friends with me personally and my page on Facebook, you're probably a little overburdened with the sheer amount of videos I've been tossing out in the world. It's that's something I don't think I talked about too much in the introductory series, but I'm going to talk about it right here. All right, Maddie, why are you putting 3 videos out a week? Well, initially I thought I was going to be able to keep them short, but then I remembered that most average videos, I think, for content that we watch on TV or stuff I grew up watching, was about 30 minutes. So, on average, I'm looking to do 3 10-minute videos that comprise basically an episode a week. You get 30 minutes of fun little content with your boy. We get to start off with some introductory stuff, end strong with some local stuff. Speaking of local, the restaurant this week was Capris Pizza Shop here in Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania. You can also find a link to that in the description below. I do my best to try to find new restaurants each week to feature. I first put up what I got going on Fridays on my Instagram, and then I try to do a little bit of a review here on when I do the Bite 3. We got a calzone, and we got a panini. Eggplant Parmesan panini was delicious. It's not, I would say, not necessarily a panini in the most traditional sense, but they got really good dough, and so I was all right with it anyway. It was more like a eggplant parm calzone. Had no issues with it. The calzone itself was nice, fluffy, had a good bit of ricotta cheese in there. They get really good mozzarella cheese there too. Ham was delicious. Pepperoni was good. Man, it's just a really good calzone. And the sauce they use is from scratch, and it's pretty good. I've been fortunate enough to travel the world and been to Italy a bunch of times. Been to a ton of restaurants, Florence and Bologna and Parma. And it's nice to come home to the States and find something that's pretty legit. That's why I support them, because I like to help these people out, but I also like to have good food around me. So I think that's going to be it for this week. As always, I will petition you to like this video, subscribe please down below, and share it with your friends if you find it in your heart to do so. This has helped me out and given me something cool to do. But I hope it's really entertaining yins. So, for now, this Yinzer's going to sign off. I've got coals heating up outside. We're about to grill some burgers tonight. It's finally pretty here in Western PA, and I spend about as much time as I can outside. For that, it's Matty Worldwide. This is Ordinary Forks. And remember, kids, it don't gotta be pretty, but it darn sure can taste good. Cheers.